Hello there. Well, it was quite an entertaining studio show last week for Halloween, wasn't it?
That's why I love Halloween. Spooky, scary, and that's exactly what those boys tried to give us.
And the public here enjoyed it as well, didn't they?
They were scared too. They were scared, lads. They were scared.
I don't think there'll be fireworks here this week with these heavyweight good guys. Anthony and Michael will be intent on leaving the action, I think, to the ring on November the 22nd.
Evening, boys. Again, on paper, Anthony, they say your biggest test today. Would you agree with them?
I do agree. Michael's been in with like Harrison, champion, even on the bill I was fighting on a few months ago. Very experienced, not only through his fights, but sparring, experience, been around for a long time. So he should impose some threats, and he's a dangerous fighter, so I've got respect for him and I'm well prepared.
Michael, you were one of the few fighters that were probably chomping at the bit to get the opportunity to box Anthony.
Yeah. I mean, when it came, I took it with open hands because I thought, you know what, I've been around a while. I've been sparring with, I'll give it a go.
You've got huge amounts of experience. As I say, you shared a ring with so many. What do you think of Anthony's progress as a pro over the last year? How impressed have you been with him?
I've been very, very impressed. I mean, he's fighting regular. He's taken on good fights, and I think he's definitely a big man, a strong man. He can punch, and I think he can improve.
He's making short work of the opposition put in front of him. So what different are you going to bring to the table?
I don't want to say too much, but I'm going to on the night you'll see. But it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's a walk in the park. It's not. It's going to be tough. He's a hungry individual. He's a big puncher. He's got it going for him. He's 25. I'm 39, so I know I'm in for a hard time. But I'm preparing well to try and cause an upset or at least give a good fight.
Speaking confidently, he's speaking with wisdom. What do you see in Michael as the biggest threat?
Experience, been around with a lot of different styles and coped with a lot of different styles. I think obviously where I'm new to the game, that's why I've got a lot of people calling me out at the minute, because they can see that I'm quite a novice. So where I'm still a novice, Michael's quite experienced. We should be in for a good fight for sure. And I just can't afford to let him exploit any of my weaknesses.
And Michael, former two-time prize-fighter champion as well over the shorter distance. So maybe even a fast start on this. How are you going to prepare for Anthony? Because of course he hasn't been rounds. So are you looking to take him deep to where he doesn't know yet what's going to happen, or are you going to jump him early?
Well, I say you've got to take him deep, really. I mean, you've got to try and, he hasn't been past 3 rounds. I think it's ideal to try and take him into later rounds. Just like when Nigel Ben for Joe McLennan, I mean, he was knocking everyone out, but when Ben took him past certain rounds, he came unstuck.
Auntie, how much time do you actually have after the last fight, should I say? How much time did you have out the ring?
Out the ring, I had 3 days. 3 days out the ring, and because Eddie's got a lot of shows, he's busy, he's already lining up fights for me in 2015. I'm sure I'm booked right through the way if I keep on winning. So I've got to get straight back in the gym and get ready for the next
nodding.
one.
I mean, that's a dangerous thing, isn't it? In some ways, to look obviously beyond opponents. You wouldn't do that.
Not me personally. I've got a job to do. My coach's got a job to do. Eddie's got a job. So everyone kind of pulling their strings, but my one is just focus on what's in front of me. And even though I've got to fight November 22nd, I've got to worry about my training the next day. And it's one day at a time, so I can make the most of each day.
Has Michael always been in your plans? You've got a plan, you've got a destiny to try and step onto to collect the titles. Has he always been in your eyesight?
Honestly, Michael hasn't always been in the plans, but I think the standard Michael's at 100%. At some point, yeah, he has been in the plans, because I need to be competing against opposition like
Do you need rounds? Would you like, in a way, I know you'll have knocking them out early, but in a way, would it be more useful if this goes,
100%, even like guys like Tyson, before he fought for the heavyweight championship of the world, he went 10 rounds 3 or 4 times, and it's good to just know that you can do it. I can do it in the gym. 12 rounds, 36 minutes. I train for 3 hours in the gym, so I know I can do it I know I can go the distance, but it's just proving it to myself and making it reality on the night.
It's nice to see the respect, isn't it, between these two?
Definitely, without a doubt. Michael, this man's chin's never been tested. Do you think you can test his chin?
Oh, I'm definitely going to try and land a big bomb. And if he's still there, then people can say, you know what, Joshua can take a shot. I mean, that's what people were saying. Oh, can he take a shot? There's no one behind there to hit him yet, but I'm sure he can take a shot. I'm sure he can. Yeah.
We may learn more. Michael's, of course, a domestic stalwart, but his years pale into insignificance, don't they, compared to one Bernard Hopkins, Ed?
They really do. Well, I've known Michael since he was about 15 when he first came down to Reading ABC for some sparring, but he's 39 now. Sorry about that, Michael. Nothing on Bernard Hopkins, who turns 50 in January. Hopkins takes on fearsome puncher Sergei the Crusher Kovalev on Saturday night in a light heavyweight unification bout that everyone has an opinion on. So our question online this week is who wins between Hopkins and Kovalev and how? Personally, I'm backing Kovalev to stop Hopkins, something that no one has done before in a 26-year career. Lots of news in Britain, starting with Monday's press conference at the XL for Frank Warren's show on the 29th of November. It was billed as the first head-to-head between Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr., but Eubank yet again failed to show.
You know, I feel more let down for the press more than anything because you guys obviously took time out, come here to do interviews and whatnot else, and he not shows up, so it's not a very good sign. Good image he's painting on himself.
I don't think it's Junior at all. I just think it's the old man, and it's his little bit of power, or which he looks as power in the sport at the moment.
How difficult has it been dealing with him throughout the build-up?
It's just been difficult. You know, there's been no cooperation on any front with anything we've had to do regarding the promotion. Nothing at all.
And you've said he's contractually obliged to attend press conferences, so you've spoken to the British Boxing Board of Control.
In fact, the British Boxing Board of Control written to Chris Eubanks Jr.'s official manager, Ronnie Davis, and told him that they were very more than satisfied with any security arrangements that need to be put in place, and that he should attend because that's part of his duty.
A lot of people say there's a danger that you could be too emotionally involved in this fight and could fight emotionally and angry instead of using your boxing ability.
That's all I can say to them, Ed. We'll see on the 29th. We'll see on the 29th. Every glove he lands on me, I'll give 100 quid to somebody. That's the deal.
You look in good shape, you can't wait?
Listen, I'm in the best shape of my life. I wish it was tonight.
Who'd want to be a promoter or a manager? Well, super middleweight contender George Groves for one. The Hammersmith Hope has vacated the European belt that he won against Christopher Abrass at Wembley, but was back in action at the weekend. Guiding his unbeaten young hope Luke Watkins in Swindon. Groves trained during the day and he cheered Watkins on to his third straight victory as a cruiserweight.
It's an exciting night, you know. Swindon, not world renowned for boxing, but in a few years' time, I think it will be. There's some really, bright young talent coming through here, and headed up by Luke.
There's a lot of managers' duties to take care of boxers. At this stage of the game, they don't require a lot of my time, and so I obviously training is a priority for me. We share the same coach, so we're in contact a lot of the time, and it's quite a nice release for me, to be honest. It's still involved in boxing, of course, but it takes away from the monotony of training can sometimes cause. So yes, it's lovely, and anything I can do to help the guys, I feel like. I'm not managing them as if I want to control them, I want them to make their own decisions, but if I can help them, achieve their goals, I'll happily do it.
Well, Groves lost as an amateur to the big-hitting Travis Dickinson, who's apparently out of his fight against Bob Agisaf this weekend. Agisaf will now face Matty Clarkson. Now, Agisaf's a gym mate of Kell Brook with the Ingalls, and the IBF World Welterweight Champion has been having physio on his badly cut leg at Sheffield United as he hopes to make a return by the spring.
There's been some massive improvements. I just can't wait to get back in gym. I've got itchy knuckles now, and I just want to get back in. It has been a nightmare, but I've had my family around, my friends, and to get me through it. And we're not far off coming back now, fully back 100%. So we've more or less crossed that line now, and I can't wait to just get back in the ring and carry on with my career. We've got down March 7th, so we've got that date down, but we've got to see how things go. But I'm feeling tip top now. I'm ready to get back in that gym and you know, start training hard again.
Now to a young man who's just moved away from Sheffield to pursue a new challenge. Croydon's national amateur champion Charlie Edwards has left the elite amateur setup at the EIS as he plans to make his big move, joining the ranks of the pros at flyweight.
There's a lot of people out there who I'd love to get in the ring with, and I really believe that I could go all the way in the pros. Like my fitness, my style now, especially over the last year training down the TKO boxing gym with Brian O'Shaughnessy, he's changed me round. He's changed me into a pro. I've been in the pro gym sparring pros, they've toughened me up. So I know I'm only 21 and I'm young, but I'm looking forward to the future. So I just need to weigh up my options, see who's out there, see what promoters are out there. And I've already got my eye on the flyweight crown, so if there's any flyweights out there, you better watch out.
And finally, the GB team has been announced for the Women's World Amateur Championships this month in South Korea. Natasha Jonas and Nicola Adams are out injured, but Sky Sports scholar and reigning champion Savannah Marshall defends the title that she won in China 2 years ago.
To be honest, I think my weight category is the hardest weight category out there. Do you know, there's what 75 kilo woman, do you know, that's not big and strong. Do you know, so I think for me everyone's a threat really, and especially because I'm reigning world champion, everyone's going to be wanting to beat me. You know, once you get your first bout out the way, that's the hardest one mentally, and then the next just follow. I suppose there's a bit of pressure, do you know, going out there, but do you know, if I box my best, then I will do well.
I'm sure Savannah will be hoping for a fight with American Clarissa Shields, who struck gold at London 2012 but has lost to Savannah before. And you can watch that interview with Savannah in full on Sky Sports News Sportswoman this coming Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Adam.
Yeah, so talented, Savannah. Wish her well, don't we?
She seems to be maturing as time goes on. The success comes with it as well.
Yeah, she's in the world heavyweight title action next week. Vladimir Klitschko against a man you fought in Pulev. You sparred with Klitschko recently. You fought Pulev, his opponent. So what are your thoughts on it?
I believe Klitschko should get the victory again. From my small time I was out there, he's very experienced, obviously second longest reigning champion to Joe Lewis, I'm sure. Had tough times, come back, learnt, and his setup that he's already got the camp before he got injured. He's got that in the bank. He just added to it this camp, and it's come round so quick, so I'm sure he's 110%. He's ready, he's healed up, and he's ready to put on a show. I think he might potentially get the stoppage. No disrespect to Pulev.
Michael, you've sparred with Klitschko, you've boxed Pulev. What chances do you give Pulev?
I think Pulev has got, you know, I think he's going to give Vladimir one of his toughest fights of recent. I think it's going to be it's going to be a technical fight. I think Vladimir obviously probably, I fancy Vladimir to win it, but I definitely be as easy as what people think it's going to be. I think it's in for a bit of a tough fight.
The week after you two, we've got another interesting one over here in Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora meeting again. How do you see that, Michael?
That's going to be quite a tough fight. I mean, I'm slightly leaning towards Fury to win it, but it depends really what good shape David turns out. I mean, he's changed his training of recent, of quite a while now. He's lost the weight, and he's coming in fighting strong and been doing well. So it's quite a tough fight, but I'm leaning slightly towards Fury.
You know Derek well, don't you?
Yeah, I know Derek well. Former gym member, sparring partner, so on. For me, I think the only reason I'd lean towards Fury is because he's done it once, but that wasn't the Chisora we know today. You know, been in with Vitali, Hayes, so on. Very experienced, lost weight, he's on a diet now, and I'm really rooting for Chisora to go in and hopefully do what a lot of people want him to do.
Wow, 21 years ago today as well. It was the infamous Fight the Man jumping in on Bo Holyfield. You were there?
I was there. It was unbelievable. We looked at the calendar, November the 6th, back in 1993. Michael, I don't know what you remember, but I was there ringside at Caesars, and the fan man came in, and then he was attacked, and Bo and Holyfield were held up for some 20 minutes, and the whole course of heavyweight history sort of changed that night. I just thought the drama of it was unbelievable. It was quite something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I was very surprised when that happened. I mean, obviously, I thought someone probably planned that for its trying to break the fight down a bit. But yeah, it was shocking. But it was a good night. It was a good night.
Anthony was just a baby then.
Yeah.
He's probably seen it on tape though. Well, thanks to Michael. Good luck in training.
Thank you.
Anthony stays with us and is joined by two of our world champions. Lovely to see that, wasn't it? The classy little men, Scott Quigg and Jamie McDonnell next. Welcome back to Ringside. WBA Super Bantamweight champion Scott Quigg and Bing Jamie McDonnell are here. Good to see you both.
Don't forget the little man on the far left, boys. Scott, third fight of the year. Keeping you busy. Can you try and steal the limelight come November?
That's always my plan, to try and steal the limelight, because obviously I want to put in the best performance I can, and I'm looking forward to the 22nd.
You always seem to be having to try and prove yourself to say, look, I'm a world champion. So is this man going to give you a tough test?
It's not about having to prove myself to myself, because I know what I can do. You know, people, you're going to get critics and that. I'm expecting a very, very tough fight against Ortega. We've not got much footage on him, and so we're going in this fight blind. But the main thing is me being 150% ready for whatever he brings, and he won't have the answers for me.
It's been a superb and fairly fast few months for you, certainly in terms of ring action. You're blowing these guys away, to be honest.
Yeah, the people, you know, it's not that I'm not getting the credit or anything, it's people aren't expecting me to do what I've been doing to the opponents I've been in with. You know, in the boxing news before the Munyai fight, I was expected to win on a tough 12 rounds point decision. I went in there and took him out like no one's ever done before, but I didn't seem to get the credit that warranted that display.
Does it bother you?
No, it's like, it really doesn't. It just drives me on, you know, to keep doing what I'm doing, because I know why I'm getting I'm putting in these performances, because of the way it's not the way I train, it's the way I live my life.
So people keep obviously mentioning Carl Frampton and Kid Galahad, and there's obviously Rigondo, there's top fighters, but the way you're going through these guys, that surely gives you confidence that when those mega matches are made in the coming sort of 12 to 18 months, you'll be ready for them.
Yeah, obviously it gives me confidence, because I'm doing things to fighters that people aren't doing to them, you know, and obviously it's going to give me confidence.
And this is the next one in line, Japanese Super Bantamweight champion, unbeaten since 2007, the one loss. He's got a picture of you, and we found a picture of him. Not a lot of footage.
No, there's not a lot of footage. All I know mainly is what I've read about him on the internet and on the forums. But I know that, you know, it's a dangerous opponent. You know, you take every fight dangerous, and I'm going to sign that picture for him.
Anthony, I said it was his third fight of the year. It's your seventh fight of the year. Do you like the busyness of keeping these boys going? It's Jamie as well, they're keeping him busy.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that was a major reason why I joined the stable of Matchroom as well, because I wanted to be busy, get experience under my belt, and I think it's a way of developing, because I'm not really at the gym, and as Scott said, I think we're all talented, but who isn't? I think it's the way you live your life, and keeping me in the gym keeps me away from all the nonsense that I could be getting up to. So I'm happy to be busy, and I'm looking forward to 2015 as well.
They've got the jewellery of world titles, and Jamie, you've done it a wavy way. You've done it. You've got there.
I've done it. Yeah, I've had a rocky road this last year. You know, I won the IBF world title against Sage in a tough fight. You know, got stripped. Things happened, and you know, it's been a rocky road back. But you know, I'm back here, WBA world title, and you know, big things.
You've always done it traditionally, though, haven't you? British, Commonwealth, European, world title, and then you win it again. You win another one, the IBF, now the WBA on the big Froch Groves card at Wembley. What a dream that must have been to even fight it on that stage.
It is. It's the perfect fight, you know, to fight on such a massive card in front of so many people, and to pick another world title up. You know, I felt I shouldn't have been stripped, but you know, got stripped. You know, dug in, and you know, Eddie pulled the WBA out of the bag, and you know, we just got on with it, and here I am today, you know, two-time world champion.
Your engine seems to shock and surprise a lot of people, especially your opponents. What do you make of the next man you're getting in the ring with?
The next kid, Ramos, same with Scott, you know, we ain't got too much footage to go on. In fact, we ain't got any. You know, I don't even know what it looks like. But you know, we'll just go off his record, like Scott said. As long as we train hard, we're fit and we're ready and we're sharp, you know, we just have to suss them out when we get in there, and you know, that's what separates the best. You know, you should be able to adapt, and I'm sure I will.
That's what we know about him on a
well, at least I know what it looks like.
Winning streak, 23 of 31, 6 defeats, and what do you expect?
He looks like he can dig a little bit, you know. Obviously he's lost a few.
For world title challenge, you don't write him off.
Yeah, that's it, you know, he's boxed for world title. He's been up there. I think he had a little stint out, you know, when he had a year or two out, but he's going to bring his A game. It's a world title. He's had 8 or 9 weeks notice. You know, he's going to bring it all to the table. You know, and as long as I'm on form, you know, I'll beat him.
You're going to have to get in with a lot of different styles and different quality of opponents, and you're having to adjust and learn as you're going as champion.
That's it. You know, for this fight, we're just having a mix of sparring partners, and you just have to just go with it. You know what I mean? We don't know what style he brings to the table. You know, and we just get anyone in really and just go with it.
Are you impressed with him, Anthony?
Yeah, as he's saying as well, when he says go with it, I think that even off a YouTube video, you can't really take too much away, because when you're in the ring under the lights, it's completely different to what you've seen on the YouTube anyway. So all respect to these guys. They don't know much about their opponents, but they're going in there with that confidence, and it's just like a sparring partner that they never sparred before. They're going to do the exact same thing. They do it day in, day out, and they're both champions. So I wish them all the best, and I'm sure they'll be successful.
You share the bill with these guys.
Yeah.
You look up to them, and do you like watching them? I mean, they're entertaining, aren't they? The pair of them.
I was watching his brother the other week as well.
Yeah, Gavin, yeah.
I was watching his brother win as well. And I just watched his knockout there as well, Scott Quigg. I love Scott Quigg as well. Dedication, his lifestyle, and ask questions. I know stuff about Scott Quigg that he probably doesn't even know I know, because I ask about these fighters, I ask what they're up to and how they're getting on, and I've got a lot of respect for the two of them.
How does that sound?
That's good. We're going to say it's good coming from Anthony, and like I say, I look up to him for Olympic champion and sold less fights as you know as an amateur, and hopefully you know he can go on and become world champion.
Jamie, on your feet. I think you're off to the hub to see Ed to talk about this possible unification next year.
Yep, Jamie just here. Well, on Saturday night, Tomoki Kameda, the exciting Mexican-based Japanese bantamweight, did his bit to set up the unification fight with Jamie McDonnell. In Chicago, Tomoki, one of 3 elite boxing brothers, appeared to win clearly, although officially it was only a split decision win against his mandatory challenger, Alejandro Hernandez. That was his 3rd defence. Did you watch it, Jamie?
I did. I managed to watch the fight. Wasn't too impressed, you know, he looked quite sharp, you know, going into the first 6 rounds.
He's the blonde-haired boxer.
The blonde-haired kid, yeah. He's not a bad fighter, you know, undefeated. They're hoping for big things, you know, throws some good body shots, you know, but I can't see there being too much there, you know, to cause me too many problems, you know, and hopefully we'll get it on early next year and we'll both put our belts on the line and, you know, I'll come out victorious.
He's based in Mexico and he's got an exciting style like a lot of the Mexican fighters, but he seemed to fade a little bit in the late rounds, and obviously you've got a great work rate.
It is, you know, that's good for me, you know. I come on strong, I do 100% believe I will stop him. You know, I've got a fantastic engine and I will come on strong, and, you know, fingers crossed, you know, I'll pick another belt up.
Will you have to travel to America? Talk of Las Vegas possibly.
Yeah, they spoke about Las Vegas. We'll probably will. I don't mind travelling, I've done it before, you know. When you want the big fights, the big unification fights, you're going to have to travel, you know, so I'll go there and do a job on him.
It's a great division, isn't it? There's so many good fighters, and I know you want to unify all the belts if possible. There's a Japanese fighter who's a WBC champion who's #1. Most people would accept that. You could argue that Kameda could be ahead of you because he's unbeaten in 31 fights, a lot of hype, 23 years of age. Randy Caballero as well, who beat Stuart Hall, is a good fighter.
Yeah. I would probably drop Stuart out of top 10, you know, but you can't argue with that. I don't know about that Tucker, you know, I never heard of him, but yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
What about Julio Cesar, who you beat for your first title, a big puncher, Mexican fighter?
Yeah, he's working his way back up there. It'll be a real tough fight, you know. He gave me a tough fight, you know, and he was only young, you know what I mean? So he's gaining some experience, so it'll be a tough fight. I'm sure he'll be up in top 2 or 3 soon, you know, in the next year.
I've just got to stir a little bit. Any chance you could ever move up to super bantamweight and fight Scott?
That's it, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about, big fights, you know what I mean? I'm going to clear up at bantamweight, you know, I'm going to move up. You know, if Scott's still there, the fight will happen, you know. You know, we'll see how it goes.
There's so much to look forward to, but Ramos first, that's crucial, I think, Adam.
Absolutely. It would be amazing if you fought Scott Quigg. But yes, very, very much looking forward to the Ramos fight first, aren't we?
Yes, we are. But you know what, I didn't even think about that one.
Topped, of course, by Nathan Cleverly and Tony Bellew. With Johnny, you were in camp with Tony, a couple of weeks ago? Up at the Rotunda?
I'm pleased to report no injuries for Tony this time, or me.
Well, that's good news. Eh?
Yes, and no cold bath either.
Tony's doing well, but we also had to send Johnny on another spy mission, of course, this time to Camp Cleverly.
Just over 2 weeks to go before the boy from the valley enters enemy territory once again. So I've travelled down to Wales to cast an eye over Nathan Cleverly's preparations before his big bout against Liverpool's Tony Bellew. It's a bit different this type of training, Nathan. It's quiet. It's just you. I'm used to the loud hustle and bustle of a gym. Do you like the solitude?
I like the solitude of the boxing environment. You know, I like being on my own. It's good for my mind. You know, it's what I prefer. Some fighters like a hustle and bustle atmosphere. I prefer the lonely solitude atmosphere. You know, I can do it for the odd day, like this kind of day, a media type of day. Or when there's too many around, I get claustrophobic. It's like, get out. Now, you know, I'm ready to go to work. Please leave. I've got to get in the zone now.
To me, Nathan, training in isolation, it's a massive commitment, because the gym where I was from, it was hustle, it was bustle, it was chaos if you didn't know what was actually happening. That worked for me. I'm very comfortable in that environment, but for Nathan, you know, he's training his mind as well as his body. So Nathan now he's on his toes. They talk about him working out like an athlete. Tony says he looks like an athlete. He says he's an athlete, and his approach is that he's in trainers. You know, he's on the bag. He's building himself up to cruiserweight, and he's letting the shots go solid. He's not on his toes when he's letting the shots go in the bag. So he's trying to get the power shots in. If you look at his feet, when he's on his feet, they're solid, they're pinned down. You know, that means he's working on power, you know, leverage. We were both on Ringside last week, and I asked how do you think the fight goes. I can't see it going the distance, because as I see him in training, it looks like he's going for power shots. We saw Tony Bellew do it the week before, power shots. I think they're going to go for the knockout, both of them. And if I see a change of trainers, has things settled in with Darren now? What Darren Wilson now, from being the strength and conditioner to being chief man?
Yeah, we settled in. We settled in well, and you know, at the end of the day, Darren was part of the team anyway. You know, he's been part of the team for many years. It's just now, it's just myself and Darren working together. So it's not a major change, in all fairness. You know, we've always ticked over in the past. So it was a natural team, really.
Is he a boss or is he a mate? You know, when it comes to doing this job?
We're both. Myself and Darren, you know, we're friends as well. So it's a good teamship, because he knows me. You know, he's got respect for me, and he knows I won't cheat myself. He has his input, I have my input. You know, and it's a good team so far.
So we saw in the bags where he's letting the solid shot goes. He's working power. When the shot goes now, the power's there, boom, boom, 1, 2, that's like. Darren shouting speed, that's what he's got to work on, speed. How's the weight, Nate? Because at this stage, most of us are probably training in sweat gear.
The weight, yeah, it's good, very good. Yeah, I'm a couple of pounds over, but I feel comfortable.
Just over 2 weeks of the fight. You're looking on form, very everything goes well.
I'm ready now, mate. You know, I'm ready now. It's been a long training camp. This focus for a long time. Not overcooking it. You know, a lot of the training's done.
So you wake up November the 23rd. You've won. What are you looking at from there?
You know, the best feeling for me is when I return back to my hotel. You've just put your heart and soul on that line to win in battle. I've come out victorious. I go back to the hotel, peace and quiet. That's when it hits home. You think, wow, job done. Have a nice night's sleep. That was what an incredible feeling.
Well, you know what? Good luck.
Cheers,
enjoy the ride.
Thank you, John. Cheers.
Interesting. I know you were slightly concerned, weren't you, before this fight about how he's recovered from Kovalev and rebuilt himself sort of mentally, psychologically. What are you thinking now?
I was more than happy with what I saw. Nathan looked calm, in control. He liked that environment, the silence, the solitude of just him and the trainer. I didn't, but to me, I found it a bit eerie, but I think Nathan likes that.
And he had the calmness, didn't he, on the ringside set last week?
Because he needs the focus, and you can understand why that calmness was there last week, because how he trains, it's just him and the
Great, I think this person, but with this fight, I think the first fight was brilliant. I think it was really close as well, which is why there's a rematch now. It's a big fight. I'm 50-50. They've both gone up the weights, so they're not making weights. They're not struggling anymore. Cleverly is calm. I think Bellew's calm as well in his way, and as you said, we can't judge because we don't know their lifestyles. But I think he is first one to land. I think it will probably be a left hook from one of them. So it's the first one to land a dirty left hook, which is getting knocked out.
You're smiling, Scott. What are you thinking on this one? Bellew to exact revenge or Cleverly again?
They've, as Anthony just said, the first fight were very close and they've both improved since then, and they've both come off defeats. But they've both moved up in weight and they're both making good statements in the cruiserweight division. So I'm not going to sit on the fence like Anthony. But but no, I think if it ends early, it'll be Tony Bellew, or I think Tony Bellew, or I think if it goes to points, which I think it will do, I think Nathan's going to edge it on points.
Sitting on the fence.
No, I do think Nathan will edge it on points.
I think Tony Bellew. I don't think it's going to points. I think there's definitely going to be a knockout, you know, that weight advantage with them both moving up. And it's just a massive fight, you know. They're not going to be tapping in there, are they, do you know what I mean? And there's going to be a lot of tension. It's going to be a fantastic fight. Really looking forward to it.
Can you pick it, yeah?
I can't. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be hard for these guys to steal the top of the bill.
It's going to be a good one, isn't it? After the break, we look ahead to the major light heavyweight clash between Nathan Cleverly's former foe, Sergei Kovalev, and the one and only Bernard Hopkins. Can he keep proving the critics wrong? Time and again, he's nearly 50. A warm welcome back to Ringside. Anthony Joshua, Scott Quigg and Jamie McDonnell are with us. Busy times, John, isn't it?
Busy times all over. I was bumped into Carl Froch last weekend. He was giving me a few whispers about what he wants to do in the future. I said I wouldn't say a word, so...
Oh, come on.
Not saying a word. See, Carl, kept my mouth shut.
When's Froch back?
I'll tell you after the show.
Let's turn to Ed for the international news, topped, of course, by the Hopkins-Kovalev clash this weekend.
Well, the Battle of the Ages this weekend has divided opinion. Some like the power of Sergei Kovalev, some the ring savvy of the veteran Bernard Hopkins. It's certainly got people talking, but can Hopkins confound Father Time yet again? I think we've got the poll results here. I'm quite interested to see these. So 55 to Hopkins, 45 to Kovalev. What? A lot of people interested in the fight. I think it's really intriguing because you can make a great argument about either, but I think a lot of people are swayed by perhaps romanticism regarding Hopkins. You're divided, aren't you, you two?
Well, we were all divided in the office earlier, and I think Hopkins is going to find a way again. I think well, I'm not sure Kovalev's not been lengthy rounds. He knocks everyone out. I just wonder if he hasn't got the job done within 4 rounds, if that 5th, 6th bell rings. Surely Hopkins is going to fiddle his way through. It may be an ugly finish, but I don't know.
I should go for the
oldest.
bet
against Hopkins.
I should go for the oldest, but I think he's picked the wrong battle here. I'm quite sure you boys have got an opinion as well. No pressure.
I'm trying to think when I spar guys that are powerful, Kovalev, and I think that sometimes you've got to have a bit of ring craft, and that does see me through as well, having the skills to defend and come back. So power is one thing, but I think Hopkins might slide it out.
He's not sitting on the fence.
I'm not sitting on the fence.
Jamie?
I'm going to go with probably Hopkins, yeah, the old man's he's probably still got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Common sense left the room. Scott?
I want Hopkins, but another thing you've got to remember is Kovalev's trainer used to be in camp with Hopkins.
Good point.
So he knows a lot of how...
He lost Hopkins as well.
Yeah, he lost to Hopkins in a title fight as well. So they know each other very well. Hopkins is saying that's an advantage to him because he's the better man than John David Jackson.
Are you thinking Kovalev then?
I'm thinking Kovalev. I just... At the age of Hopkins now, can he take the... I mean, when Kovalev hits you, whether he hits you on the arms, the back of the head...
That's what Nathan Cleverly was saying.
Wherever he hits you, he's going to work. And at that age, can you take that sort of punishment? I hope he can.
Common sense has come back in the room.
If this guy destroys Hopkins, he's a massive star, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Hopkins hasn't been stopped in the whole of his career, but then he hasn't stopped anyone himself since De La Hoya, who turned pro as a super featherweight, and that was 10 years ago. I mean, it's... So the common sense would say that Kovalev wins by stoppage or Hopkins wins on points, but I just think he's such a beast, Kovalev. He's going to... Hopkins tries to old man you, doesn't he? He kind of tries to slow the pace and con you, but ultimately I think Kovalev is just going to be so strong. A lot depends on the referee, Dave Fields, and how strongly he holds on to it. Should be a good one.
Should be good.
Also officially announced this week, Amir Khan's December clash with Devon Alexander at welterweight, part of a great bill on December 13th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Khan and Alexander came head-to-head in Los Angeles as they talked up their Crossroads clash.
I think it's a fight that the fans are going to love. You know, you got two fighting styles. You got two young fighters who are hungry, and also two guys in their peak. My last fight against Coloso was a good fight for me. He was a southpaw also. Devon's a southpaw. I think it's going to help me because I'm, back-to-back fighting southpaws. I'm taking the experience I had in the last fight into this fight, and hopefully, we're gonna do the job on Devon. Devon's a good fighter. He's very skillful as well, like myself. He's quick. So it's going to be a game of chess. Who's the quicker and who's the better and who's the most skillful fighter.
It's a huge fight. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows what this fight means. The winner of this fight can get catapulted to the top level. And for as me and be underrated, I do think I'm underrated. I'm gonna be some top-notch guys. Look some Matisse, Medina. People quiet about those things, but it's okay. I'm gonna continue to prove myself. I'm going to continue to earn my respect. With Khan, you know what he's going to do. He haven't did anything different other than hit, and move out, hit, move out. But me, I wanted to show versatility, and just show people that I can stand there in the pocket.
We're both at a stage of our career where we need this fight, and it's time for me to shine. I want to keep myself busy, and I want to have a good fight against Alexander. Alexander's a Class A opponent. He's one of the tough opponents in the welterweight division, and it's no joke. It's a tough fight for me. I could have taken an easy route, but no, I want to fight the best out there, and it's a fight that he's been talking about. I've been talking about it, so why not get it on?
I'd also like to send our very best to Asi Varley and his family. Varley, a long-time member. And a gym mate of yours, Johnny.
Yeah, it was a shock to Leon, obviously, and a shock to everybody. He had treatment this week. He'll be in hospital for about probably 6 weeks. John Ingle phoned him up, tried to lighten the mood and say, we've got your fight at the end of the month. And he said, I'm kind of busy right now. He said, all right, then we'll do it just after Christmas. So we're going up and visiting him, putting him under pressure, but good luck to him in the future.
We absolutely wish Lee Noble all the best. Let's just look very quickly at the Khan-Alexander fight, December 13th. Good one.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's been talked about to happen before, and it's going to be a real. Whoever turns up on the night and performs the best will take that, because it's not a win-win fight for anyone. They've got to turn up. They're both class acts, and I think it's a tough fight.
They are class acts, aren't they? That's exactly what they are, the pair of them. Alexander's skillful and calm, we know all about with the speed and everything else. And of course, he could have the Mayweather or the Brook fight in 2015, so he's got to perform.
That's it, they're both former world champions, and, whoever wins that fight, what a great fight, puts them back in the mix, that there's going to be some big fights out there. There's your Mayweathers and all them, you know what I mean? So, they're both going to turn up on the night, and, I think Khan, his speed, and, I think it's his time to shine again.
Khan out there on the big stage, a British boxer's dream, keeping himself up there in the mix as well with this fight, Anthony.
Yeah, most definitely. As I said, I think they're both, well, especially Khan was eyeing Mayweather. I think Brook's going to be watching closely, as he was supposed to be fighting Alexander at some stage. So I think within that mix, them two fighting alone December 13th has got a lot of pressure on it, because they know that the big names are watching them, and I think that's going to create fireworks. And I hope Khan gets a decision. He's a local lad, so I'm rooting for him. But I just know it's going to be tough, but he'll be ready for sure. He's with Virgil now. He's changed his setup. He's prepared. He's got his mind right, and he should put on a really good display.
Yeah, Anna trains in California with Virgil Hunter. Now to some recent unseen action from Carson, a battle of the middleweights. 30-year-old Abraham Han from El Paso, who'd won 22 of 23. And he was in with the Mexican Marcos Reyes, who'd also only lost one in 33. Good match. Your commentators, Paul Smith and Nick Halling.
And this has the potential to be a really good one. Marcos Reyes in the white from Chihuahua, south of the border, against Abraham Han of El Paso, Texas, in the black. Two middleweights with just one defeat each. Lots of quick finishes. Reyes has 18 inside 3 rounds. Han has 13 inside 3. Not much between them so far. Two guys with just one defeat apiece on their record. Again, they're making him miss. Almost getting drawn into something and catching a right hand for his pains as well, and then swinging and missing again. Han didn't miss there. better from Reyes, and a bit better there as well, catching hand with a right, then a left hook there as well. And that's the best little spell he's had in the whole fight so far. Better again. He's really up the work rate here. And then Hand catches him with a right hand as well. That lack of head movement from Reyes. He's going to catch him out one day, maybe here. Hand definitely happy to box on the back foot. Look for the counters, that's nice. Those uppercuts are getting through. Hand's corner saying that that's a shot that's there for you. I think Hand is feeling the pace of this 8th round, if nothing else. And he's just trying to bulldoze his way through here, Reyes, and it might work for him. Because Hand is not throwing much back, and Hand has been countering well throughout this fight, but not here in this 8th round, as Reyes continues to turn the heat up here. And this is a big round for Reyes.
This is what we needed, Nick. This is what Reyes needed. A bit of urgency and a bit of work. This is very good from him.
And it's not what Hand needed. He is getting battered in there right now. Just a minute left of this 8th round, and the tide turning significantly here. Reyes has put a lot into this, then sinking body shots in. Hand is pinned in a corner, and down he goes. And it was those body shots that really sickened him.
5, 6.
Well, he's up.
7, 8. What, Corby? Are you all right?
And he really has been put through the ringer here as Reyes has gone to work, and again body shots coming in. Then the switch upstairs, and Reyes looking to try and put this fella away. 10 seconds left of the round, and Hand finally, belatedly, starts to throw a punch or two. Really starting to dig down on his punches here, Reyes. And Hand soaking it up. It's better. Oh, but he got caught with a ripping right uppercut. Still on his feet though, Hand. That was a beautiful shot from Reyes. Both put an awful lot into that last round, didn't they?
Time. Back over there.
Hand doesn't know where he is.
1 point.
Oh, and now then, more drama.
1 point after the bell.
After the bell. Well, we've had a 10-8 round in his favour, but now a point taken off, and look, Robert Garcia's going mad.
He dropped him. That was the second knockdown.
Big right uppercut in the last 20 seconds. Can Reyes, but no, he's caught with the left hand of his own. Reyes needs an exclamation mark here in the last 10 seconds. And that's a good response from Hand. And for me, the man from El Paso has done just enough to keep his nose in front. But it's going to go to the 3 scoring judges, Max DeLuca, Ralph McKnight and Fritz Werner.
Judge Ralph Knight and Judge Fritz Werner both score at 97-91. Judge Max DeLuca scores at 94-94. All for the winner by majority decision, the Sun City Warrior A.B. Ha!
Well, 2 of those were very, very wide. And just listen to that reaction.
Good middleweight action there. Golovkin clearly rules the roost, but it's a good mix.
It is a good mix. As you saw there, good undercard fight as well. Got next week coming up in Dublin. That's going to be class. Golovkin, he is ruling the roost right now. All respect to him, but it's tough when you're at the top because there's people gunning for him for sure.
We're talking about Matthew Macklin in Dublin next weekend, so yes, he's still got his eye on the prize.
Yeah, I mean, Matthew Macklin, I was watching him spar Craig McEwen last night, and he's looking sharp and he's looking well for Dublin next week.
It's a good domestic rivalry as well, with Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr. and all sorts of things happening with the build-up to that one. I mean, some mouth-watering fights, Jamie, at the moment. Not just you guys, but everyone seems to be in good matches.
It is, boxing's booming at the minute. I'm really looking forward to the Billy Joe fight and Eubank. It's all been a bit controversy with him not turning up and stuff like that. So that, there's some good matchups happening at the minute domestically. Like I say, boxing's booming.
Kind of split down the middle with the Billy Joe Saunders Eubank fight. I'd like to put someone on the spot.
Yeah, put me on the spot. I'm going to go with... I'll probably go with Billy Joe.
He's off the fence.
I've stepped off the fence for now. The reason is I think that he just had a bit of tougher opposition. than Eubank for now. So I think experience plays a big part in the pro game. So that's why I'm going with Billy Joe.
Another one to look forward to, isn't it? We have a very busy autumnal period ahead. We have big shows in Dublin, as we mentioned, and Liverpool soon. Next week on Ringside, a couple of fight legends join us in Joe Calzaghe and John Conte. Really looking forward to that. Plus, James DeGale puts himself through a real test ahead of his place on that November the 22nd Supercar.
Come on, you little mugs. Let's go. Come on. Show it.
Looks tough. Our thanks to Anthony, Scott and Jamie, who will all be on display in just over 2 weeks, providing major support for Tony Bellew and Nathan Cleverly. Don't miss next Wednesday for another electric Gloves Are Off.
That was scary, and it finished with a bang. Trust me. It did. It did.
That should hurt.
I'd have kicked your head.
You crazy as hell.
When the camera's off, you're a nice guy, you're a good guy.